Which of the top selling men's 2024 colognes actually pull on dates? Not all colognes are built for that first date with that special someone. Out of the most sold men's colognes of 2024, I smelled all of them and am now going to rank them on which is the best one for your first date. As you can see from the rankings, I've devised a very scientific list. Starting off at the bottom with Cooked, we've got C, B, A, and the Rizzler. Now, that's not to say all of the ones in the C or the Cooks here aren't bad fragrances. They're just not fragrances I would personally recommend if you're going on that first date with a sexy lady. Starting off with the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir. Now, do I think it's a nice fragrance? Yes. However, I do think it's one of those fragrances, as I've said in the past, it's for the bros. I think this is more guys that like this fragrance than girls, and I'm not too sure why. I think those sweet ones, it's just, oh bro, are you wearing the new Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance? It's so cool, man. I wish I could afford that. So for that, although it is nice, I'm going to put it in B, because it is quite seductive. But also, just to say, these are for date night, so if it was like during the day, say you're going for ice cream or something like that, that would be a totally different video. So if you want that, comment down below if you want those date night ice cream beach trip kind of colognes. But for this, it's date night. Maybe you're going for a Coke Zero, an alcoholic beverage, depending on your age. Next up, we have, let's go for Valentino Homme Intense. Now, would I buy this fragrance myself? Not really. Do I like it? It's okay. Do I think it's a good date night fragrance? Yes, I think it's a fantastic date night fragrance. It's got like lavender, I think velveteer and vanilla from memory, but it all works very, very well. It's a very sort of seductive, warm, inviting fragrance. You're going to want to snuggle up to this. Very sort of like red wine by the fireplace kind of thing. And for that reason, I think I'm going to have to put it in... Oh, I might be putting in too many fragrances in the A tier, but yeah, I'd go A tier. I'd go A tier. Boom. Okay. Myself by YSL came out last year. It does... I don't know, guys. I don't like this fragrance. I don't know why it was in the top 10 bestsellers. I know a lot of people, like, I think it's quite boring. But because it's boring and kind of safe, I think that it would be pretty easy to go in the B tier. Just because... And I have, believe it or not, I have at least one female friend that says that she quite likes this. So, chuck it in B. Next up, we've got Sauvage. The original Sauvage, top seller for last year as it was in 2023, and I'd be surprised if it wasn't in 2022. Did you know in 2021 the Dior company sold a bottle of this every 3 seconds? But there's a reason it's popular, right? It's one of my most complimented fragrances. However, should you wear it on a date? I'm going to say no, just because there's a high chance it's going to remind her of her ex, and that could put her off. If the fragrance you're wearing is the signature scent her ex used to have, it's going to turn her off, and she won't enjoy the date anymore, right? However, that being said, if it was a recent breakup, she'll still probably be emotionally attached to her ex. So, however, you wouldn't know, and you don't want to ask those questions that early on. So, I'm going to put it in... it could be C or Cooked. I'm going to put it in Cooked because of the thumbnail. But yeah, I just think because of that factor that it might remind her that it's not worth it. However, regarding Sauvages, there is Sauvage Elixir. Now, this fragrance is very strong, very seductive. It's going to smell like you've got your act together and you've got a bit of money as well. She's definitely going to be able to smell it, so don't worry if you're incredibly insecure and want someone to compliment your fragrance. This will get you a compliment. It's one of my most complimented fragrances, like the Sauvage, the whole Sauvage ranges. And it is a bit expensive. However, it is worth it. And if you chuck on 2 sprays, you'll be right as rain. And I think because of that, I'm going to put it in at least the Rizzler. No, I think it could be too strong just for some noses. So I'm going to drop it back to A. And maybe we'll leave another spot for the Rizzler sometime soon. Because, you know, that's a pretty big place to be in, the Rizzler, guys. Next up, we have Bleu de Chanel, or the Parfum. Very popular. Very nice. Very safe, though. I'd say it's more of an office fragrance or like a daytime fragrance. I wouldn't say it's too seductive. So for the first date, maybe not. Like, it doesn't have that sort of alluring aroma to it, if you will. So for that, like, I do think it's a better fragrance than Myself. But just because Myself's got that vanilla in it, it gives it that alluring nature I said before. So I'm going to put it in C. C for Chanel. Next up, we have Stronger With You Intensely. Now, If she is a fragrance TikTok bro and she likes watching fragrance TikTok about men's colognes, if she knows you're wearing this, she's going to go, yo, that's cringe, G, and then you cooked. But on the very, very, very small percent that is the case, because I doubt that is, right? I'm going to put it in A because it's got that warm, seductive smell to it. Someone's got like a gravitational pull, you know? So I'll put it in A. Yeah, I put it in A, but then don't let her start watching fragrance TikToks with you after, because then she'll know you're cringe. Speaking of, we've got a Versace Eros. I would say for a date night fragrance, Versace Eros is not too bad. It's quite cheap these days, which is quite good. If you're a younger guy, it's perfect. Like if you're going out to get a Coke Zero because you can't legally buy alcohol, I'd probably say it'd be a good bet. For that, I'm gonna put it in B. Next up, we have Acqua by Armani. This is the original one. Like I've said, it's really nice, fresh, classic, clean cut smell. It's supposed to represent a Sicilian coastline. However, similar story to the Bleu de Chanel, where though it's a nice fragrance, it's very fresh, citrusy, safe. It's not alluring. It's not seductive. It's not playful. It's not charming. It also only does last about an hour, so depending on how horrible your personality is, it might not last the entire date. So I'm going to put it in C, although it is a good fragrance. Next up, we have 1 Million Eau de Toilette by Paco Rabanne. This fragrance is known as a sort of clubbing, seductive fragrance that, you know, gets the ladies going. I dislike it. I would put it in cooked because I hate it, but I've sold this to a lot of people, and if it was like I was trying to find a fragrance that she might want to buy for her boyfriend, and I couldn't find one, I'd just go, oh, I'll just show her this, and she'll go, oh, that's really nice. And I was like, okay. So I would put it in like A, but it is quite popular, so there is the chance that it does remind her of her ex. So I'm gonna drop it down to C, just in case, because you know, like we said with Sauvage, if you do get that X card and it's somewhat not recent, you're cooked. Last and not least, we have Y, Eau de Parfum by Estée Lauder. This is a fragrance that I own. You might be able to see it behind me. I'm not too sure. I can't see from there. Where would I put it on this list? And will it be the first Rizzler? It's a sweet, fresh fragrance. It's got this apple note, which gives it this sort of playfulness. It is somewhat leaning into more of the daytime fragrances. It doesn't have any of those spicy, alluring notes that I had mentioned with previous fragrances. However, in my experience through wearing this and selling it to people, this is a fragrance that by and large pretty much every lady likes. You'll find with other fragrances like Stronger With You Intensely, some of those Valentinos or the Jean Paul Gaultiers, it's hit or miss, right? They either like it or they go, ooh, this smells like blah 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 blah. But this fragrance, I've never really seen that. It's got a really good kill-death ratio of people liking it. I'd say it's got like an easy like 6 KD. And for that, I'm going to put it in the Rizzler just because I do think if I was going to go on a first date and I had to look at all of these colognes, I probably would pick that one just because I know it's a safe option. Yeah, that is the end of the video, and that is the tier list for the top selling men's colognes of 2024 and which ones you should wear on a date. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever worn any of these on a first date? Have they been successful? Are there any fragrances in here that you definitely wouldn't wear on a first date? Let me know. I want to hear them. If you think I put the wrong fragrance in the wrong spot, let me know in the comments as well. And if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Consider dropping a subscription for more fragrance content like this, and catch you in the next one. Mwah.